Can I help you with something?
I'm with Contractor Services.
You mean building maintenance?
That's it.
I'm gonna have to call Jerry about this.
Let's not bother Jerry.
The movie begins at the headquarters of Denning Pharmaceutical Company. In an elevator, we see an employee named John Ferguson. While in the elevator, John opens his bag in front of his companion and reveals a gun. He takes the gun, goes to a floor where everyone is working, and starts shooting people one by one. John then comes back downstairs to the lobby. When he reaches the reception area, he sees that the police have arrived outside the building. Seeing them through the glass doors, he says, someone had to take this step before turning the gun on himself and pulling the trigger. News of this workplace shooting spreads rapidly across all media outlets. Denning Pharmaceutical is about to launch a new drug expected to generate massive profits for the company. However, this drug is also causing severe problems and dangerous side effects that the company has been trying to hide from regulators and the public. The medication has already killed 3 people during clinical trials, but Denning Pharmaceutical has been covering up these deaths. Because of this cover-up, a major lawsuit is being brought against Denning Pharmaceutical by the families of the victims. Now, many lawyers see a golden opportunity to make money from this high-profile case. We see a prestigious law firm where a lawyer named Alan is going to fight a case against Denning Pharmaceutical. He then hires a man named Tom as his assistant, telling him his job will be to collect all the evidence and files related to the pharmaceutical case. Tom starts his work immediately, diving into the complex legal documents and evidence. Every week, he has to update his ID card for security purposes, so he updates it at the beginning of each week. He then goes to meet his boss, Alan, in his office. He tells Alan that the most important witness for this case was John Ferguson, the man who shot himself after the workplace shooting. Tom explains his theory, saying, "That's why I think I can bring all the people who have had heart attacks from the drug to testify against that company." Alan dismisses this suggestion immediately, saying there's no point in pursuing that angle. He explains that these are small people with no money or influence, and his law firm will never waste its time on them. Tom is a very capable man who pays attention to everything happening around the office. A little while ago, another case came to the firm involving the Gambizi crime family, and he researched it thoroughly on his own initiative. He sent his full report to his other boss. Today, this other boss calls him into his office to discuss the report. However, he tears up Tom's report right in front of him and throws it in the trash. He says sternly, "Whatever work you have been given, you should only focus on that, not on all these other things. You can go now."
When you neglect the cases that we assign you, you neglect the client. Without the client, all of this, it disappears.
Tom then comes out of the office feeling disappointed and frustrated. Just then, Alan comes out of his own office and tells everyone that the internet connection is down throughout the building, causing a lot of trouble for their work. He says there's no point in staying in the office without internet access, so everyone can go home for the day.
I know how frustrating it's been having the servers down. There's not a lot more work we can get done tonight. I want everybody to go home.
When everyone starts to pack up and leave, Alan approaches Tom privately and delivers devastating news. He says, "I read your report, the one you made on the Gambizi case. It was a huge mistake, and I can't keep people like you in my company. I am firing you from my company right now. Go away from here." Tom doesn't like this sudden termination and feels it's unfair. He takes all his personal belongings from his desk and prepares to leave the building. As Tom heads toward the elevator to exit, he sees a stranger in the elevator whom he has never seen in the building before. This man looks suspicious and out of place among the typical office workers. The man gets out of the elevator and puts his bag in the main hall, then leaves without explanation. Tom doesn't understand what's happening and watches carefully. Just then, another man comes, picks up that briefcase, and goes into the elevator. Tom is completely confused by this strange exchange. But as soon as he tries to go through the security gates, he realizes that his key card is not working anymore. Because of that, he can't go upstairs to investigate further. He starts to walk out of the building, feeling defeated. As he comes outside, he sees that the first man is still standing outside the building. Tom can't stop himself from being curious about this suspicious behavior. He signals to the security guard and asks him to activate the elevator so he can go back upstairs. He comes up from the elevator and enters the office area. After coming up, he sees that a colleague of his whose name is Roger is still working at his desk. Tom starts suspecting Roger's presence and wonders why he stayed behind when everyone was told to leave. When he goes over to him, he sees that Roger has a file which Tom had also seen a while ago. Now Tom wants to know the whole truth about what's really happening. That's why he starts his phone's camera and puts it in a mug next to Roger's desk so that everything gets recorded. He then walks to the other side of the office to observe from a distance. That's when he sees the man who came up with the briefcase earlier. The mysterious man is messing with some electrical wires and computer equipment, clearly sabotaging the office systems. Just then a female lawyer comes and asks the man, "What are you doing here?"
Can I help you with something?
"Show me your identification card." The man responds calmly, "I just came from maintenance, so I don't have a card with me right now." She says that she will call the security guard to verify his story. As soon as she turns around and tries to make a call on her phone, the man pulls out a gun and shoots the woman in the head.
Jerry.
What'd you say your name was?
Now Tom is very scared and realizes he's witnessing a murder. He runs outside to inform the security guard about what he just saw, but as soon as he opens the door to the security office, he sees that the guard's dead body is lying inside on the toilet seat. As soon as he moves the body, an automatic flush starts, making noise. Tom gets scared and quickly hides. After a little while, we see that the killer has also come to the washroom. He washes the blood off his hands and talks to himself while looking in the mirror. While talking, he says that he might need the keys that the security guard has in his possession. As soon as Tom hears this, he slides down to hide in another toilet stall. The killer comes into the stall where the guard's body is, takes the keys, the security guard's gun, and his walkie-talkie radio. As soon as he moves slightly from the toilet seat, an automatic flush starts, but at that exact moment, the killer had also started a flush in his stall, so he doesn't hear Tom's flush over the sound of his own. The killer comes out immediately, breaks the walkie-talkie to prevent any communication, and starts walking ahead with his stolen equipment. He first goes and turns off the fire sensor system so that no water will come out if there is a fire. Then, after going into the main office area, he puts down a bomb so that he can blow up the entire floor while leaving. On the other side, Tom is also busy trying to survive. He runs to Roger and tells him what's happening. He says that there is a man inside who has a gun in his hand and he is killing people one by one. He explains that the killer murdered the female lawyer and also killed the security guard. Tom warns Roger, "If you stay here, then he will kill you too. Come with me and we can escape together." Roger starts running with him toward the exit. As soon as they reach the elevator, they realize that the elevator is not working because the killer has sabotaged the building's systems. Then they go to the emergency exit door. They see that the door handle has also been broken by the killer, trapping them inside the building. Then Roger comes back inside and says that he will try to contact the police using the internet connection. But after starting the computer, he realizes that the internet connection has also been disconnected by the killer. The two of them realize that the killer is coming toward them and they need to hide immediately. They quickly hide under a desk and remain perfectly still. The killer comes and looks around the office area suspiciously. He looks at the computer, which is still on, and realizes that someone is still in the building. He turns off the computer and leaves the area, but now he knows he's not alone. Then they both run to Alan's office, hoping to find safety there. The office door does not open when they try it. Then Tom tells Roger, "Give your key card to me so that I can open the door. I will try to go inside and inform Alan about what's happening. Until then, you go and look for your phone so we can call for help. As soon as you get the phone, try to call the police and emergency services." Roger does exactly as Tom suggests and heads to his desk area. Roger reaches his old desk and finds his phone. First, he calls his wife to tell her everything that's happening and to say goodbye in case he doesn't survive.
Hi, honey.
Sir, hey, it's me. Listen, honey.
Excuse me, sir.
Honey, you want me to keep your distance?
Then he sees that the killer is standing behind him with a gun pointed at his head. The killer signals for him to tell his wife that everything is fine or he will kill him immediately. Roger does as he is told. As soon as Roger hangs up the phone, the killer asks him menacingly, "Tell me who else is working here tonight. If there is someone else, tell me right now." Roger lies and says, "There is no one other than me in the building." After hearing this lie, the killer takes out a wire and starts strangling Roger with it. All of these horrifying events are being recorded on Tom's phone, which is still hidden in the mug. From a distance, Tom sees that the killer has reached Roger's area and is attacking him. He runs to another room and starts looking for a knife or any weapon, but by the time he comes back, he sees that there is no one in that area anymore. Roger has also disappeared. Then Tom sees his phone still recording and takes it back. He tries to call 911 for emergency help, but the call gets disconnected immediately because the killer has cut all phone lines. Before that, the battery of his phone dies because it was recording for a long time. He immediately finds a charger and puts the phone on charge. Tom starts walking towards Alan's office area. Then he sees that Roger's dead body is lying in a chair. Meanwhile, he sees that the killer has arrived and is talking to someone on his own phone. Tom comes running back and hides in another room. He sees that the dead body of the female lawyer is also lying in this room. On the other side, the killer is very angry and frustrated. He has called someone and is telling them, "You told me that there would be no one in the office tonight, but there are people here who are trying to interfere with my mission." He keeps shouting and complaining about the unexpected complications while dragging Roger's body to hide it. Then Tom leaves his hiding spot carefully. Meanwhile, the killer sees Alan's office and notices that there is a jacket hanging inside the door. As soon as he moves a little further to investigate, a phone rings loudly. Tom's phone is now charged, and as soon as the phone turns on, it starts ringing. After hearing the ring, the killer comes back. He sees the phone and picks it up. Then he gets a call from a girl named Anna, who is Tom's girlfriend. The killer doesn't answer, but instead disconnects the call and goes to the phone's settings. He finds Tom's name in the contact list. As soon as he gets to the gallery, he sees that a video was recorded when he was killing Roger. He immediately deletes the video. As soon as he deletes it, the killer shouts Tom's name loudly. Tom is busy desperately trying to call for help using any means possible. First, he tries to set off the fire alarm by bringing fire near the sensor, but he doesn't know that the killer has already disabled the sensor system. Tom then thinks of another idea and sets a dustbin on fire, hoping people in the next building will see the smoke and call for help. Just as a neighbor in the adjacent building is about to notice the fire, the killer discovers something is burning. He immediately grabs a fire extinguisher and heads towards the flames to put them out. Tom sees him approaching and quickly flees the room before being caught. The killer starts putting out the fire with the extinguisher. Then he notices the neighbor looking over from the next building with concern. He quickly picks up his phone and pretends to call for help about the fire, which calms the neighbor down and prevents them from calling emergency services. Meanwhile, Tom continues his efforts to escape, or get help. He goes to an outside computer terminal and tries to generate a new access card that will allow him to move freely through the building. Suddenly, the killer appears in the area. Tom quickly turns off the monitor and hides under the table, remaining unnoticed by the killer. After the killer leaves the area, Tom first resets all existing access cards. He then makes a new card for himself and runs upstairs to find Alan. After a short while, he reaches Alan's office and discovers that Alan is there along with another woman. Tom is terrified and tells Alan that a man is loose in the building, killing everyone they encounter.
There's a guy on the floor with a gun. He killed 3 people. Can you hurry up and call 911?
Then, a bullet hits Alan's door, and Tom realizes the killer has found them. He quickly hides behind furniture as the killer enters the room. The killer then comes inside and shoots Alan in the shoulder, wounding him. When Alan sees the killer, he seems to recognize him. The other woman starts to pull out a gun to defend herself. As soon as the killer notices this, he shoots the woman and she dies instantly. The killer then points his gun at Alan and tells him to stay inside his office and not to try to escape. He says this and leaves them alone. Once they're alone, Tom asks Alan, "What's happening? And who was that woman?" Alan explains that the woman was from the Gambisi crime family, whose entire family was killed in a mob war. "You made a file on this family's murder case," Alan tells Tom. "This woman wanted to testify against her husband's murder, but that man killed her before she could speak. Maybe the gangsters sent him to clean up everything and eliminate all witnesses." Tom insists they have to leave as soon as possible before the killer returns. They run outside Alan's office and then see the killer trying to break down a door with an axe, the door behind which all the evidence files are stored. Tom had reset all the locks so the killer can't open the door with his stolen key card. After a while, the killer gets tired from chopping. We see Alan and Tom outside near a computer terminal. They realize the killer has come to their area and they hide under the table. The killer shouts Tom's name and yells, "You have to come out. If you don't, I will kill the janitor."
I will decorate that wall with his brains.
He then calls out the janitor's name to make his threat seem real. Tom whispers to Alan, "What's the janitor's nickname? Tell me. We will call him by his nickname."
What's his nickname?
What's his nickname?
What do I call him?
After some silence, the killer realizes they are trying to trick him and that he doesn't actually have the janitor. He then goes to the elevator, knowing that as soon as they see the elevator working, they'll try to use it to escape. This plan works exactly as he expects. Tom and Alan come out from hiding and see the janitor's dead body with U1 written on it in blood. They move forward cautiously and then hear a phone ringing nearby. Tom doesn't know whose phone it is. As soon as he picks it up, he sees his own number on the screen. He realizes the killer must have used his phone to call this number as a trap. Then Alan tries to move toward the exit, but a bullet hits his shoulder, wounding him again. Tom immediately grabs Alan and runs for cover. First, they go to one room and lock the door. The killer arrives and finds that the door isn't very strong, so he breaks the lock and comes inside. Then they go to a second office and barricade themselves inside. This door isn't reinforced either, so the killer can break through it as well. Tom thinks he can call the police from the landline in this office, but discovers that all phone lines have been cut. The killer then reaches their location and announces that he will kill them in 10 minutes if they don't come out voluntarily. Tom screams in frustration and fear. The killer grabs Alan and pulls him out, yelling, "I told you there should be no one in the office tonight. Then what are all these people doing here?" At this point, we discover that the killer and the person he was talking to on the phone earlier are working together. And that person is Alan himself. The killer immediately activates the bomb he planted earlier. Then Alan emerges from the room. As soon as Alan steps out, Tom closes the door behind him. The bomb inside is now active and counting down. With his key card, the killer tries to open the door, but it doesn't work. He then looks at Tom through the door window. Tom looks back at him and reveals that the key card the killer has isn't real. Tom made a photocopy of a real card and pasted it over a fake card, so the killer was fooled by the deception. The killer is now trapped inside the room with the active bomb. The explosive device goes off and starts a fire on all the file shelves. The killer's situation becomes desperate as he tries to put out the fire, but the flames rage on. After a while, the killer falls unconscious from smoke inhalation. Seeing this, Tom goes inside the burning room and drops an entire container of fire suppressant to extinguish the flames. As soon as the fire is out, he sees the killer get up again, still alive but weakened. The killer starts attacking Tom with his remaining strength. The man quickly overpowers Tom initially, but then Anna arrives to help. The killer punches Anna, knocking her down, but Tom uses the distraction to punch the killer, and after they both fall, Alan shows up and shoots the killer with the guard's gun. Before dying, the killer whispers the numbers 1122 and then dies.
1122.
Tom takes the keys from the killer's pocket while Anna uses those keys to activate the elevators so they can escape. Tom goes back to the desks and finds the case file, where he discovers that the pharmaceutical company wanted to get rid of all of the evidence about their deadly drug. Then he types 1122 on the killer's phone and unlocks it to find Alan's phone number stored in the contacts. It turns out Alan was paid by the pharmaceutical company to lose the case intentionally, so he hired the killer to destroy the files and kill Roger, who knew about the cover-up. Alan claims that corporations are more dangerous than the mafia and tries to bribe Tom with money to keep his mouth shut about what happened. Tom retorts, "I am not a beggar like you. This pharmaceutical company has taken a lot of lives, and if this case is lost, it will take more lives again." He takes the file and leaves to expose the truth. When Alan sees this, he goes to the window and kills himself by jumping. As soon as Tom comes down with Anna, he sees that the police have also arrived at the building. Then we see the man who had come earlier with the briefcase who gave the killer his weapon. When he comes inside, he sees what Tom has done. Tom had put the evidence files in the photocopy machine, and thousands of copies are now coming out, ensuring that the truth cannot be suppressed. The corrupt officer immediately contacts the pharmaceutical company people to report this development. The company then issues a new contract and assigns another hitman to kill Tom and silence him permanently. Perhaps Tom won't give up until he brings the truth to the world and exposes the pharmaceutical company's deadly cover-up. I hope you guys had a great time following Tom's intense fight for justice against corporate corruption and deadly cover-ups. If you enjoyed this recap and want to see more breakdowns of thrilling workplace conspiracies and whistleblower stories, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. What did you think of the twist revealing Alan's betrayal and his partnership with the pharmaceutical company? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.